of us talk about things that sometimes I'm like this. Why are you telling me this? You know, and vice versa. So the details of my divorce, he knows them. There's nothing that somebody can tell him from the outside about me, about my divorce, about my relationship that he doesn't already know. And that's how I choose, you know, to go about this particular relationship.
Brother, listen right now. This is the life. I have 3 women right now. We all hang out, we chill. These are my women. These are my ladies.
Go back.
All at the same time? Wait a second.
All at the same time. But watch this.
This is another show.
But here's part of the point of that.
We got reality sister wives over here.
But here's part of that point of that. See, I got married, and that's the other thing about marriage. Say a lot of people, we're going by traditional society, what they deem as a marriage, and a lot of time as men, we ride off what the woman traditionally deems as marriage. Marriage really is whatever those 2 people are contracted to do. And at the end of the day, it's like, I married her, and all right, let me tell you why I got married. I married her because I was scared of losing her. So
that sounds like a
knowing that, yo, I'm not no fucking marriage dude, at least at the time. Like, I don't deserve. I don't have no right being married to anyone, especially in the way that it was. Like, if it was like an open marriage or it was different, you know, parameters, that's one thing. But this was a contract in which she was assuming that, hey, this is exclusivity, it's marriage traditionally. Once I was out of that marriage, I gave myself permission to be myself. Fuck society. Fuck what you feel, who that feel, how that. As long as the people that I'm involved with rock with the program that I'm on, and I rock with the program they're on, that's what it is. But a lot of times we get so caught up. It's like look at how it started. A lot of people feel a type of way about. Even my ex said that. She said she didn't tell her friends that she was divorced, so we were separated until like at least a year later. Meanwhile, I'm on fucking Facebook like, nigga, like next day, let's go. However, with that being said, we're so concerned what other people think about our lifestyles, and meanwhile, we're in unhappy relationships because we're scared of what's so in those things. Meanwhile, they're in unhappy relationships, wishing they was in a relationship where people are happy, yet they're saying, oh, that's not how relationships are supposed to be. Yep. You gotta be worried about you and the person that is rocking with you. Absolutely. And man, it's the best thing that I ever did in my life. I decided to be honest with myself and saying, yo, and don't get me wrong, I understand marriage. I know why it should be there. And perhaps one day my mind will change on being exclusive with one woman. But and some people do just need to be with one people, because as a man, you talk about handling the nation. The reason why a man is supposed to use his logic to navigate a woman's emotion, and most men can't handle one woman's emotion. So I see why some people just need to be with one person. I can go on, but go ahead, carry on. Someone else take this mic.
I will say, guys, I'm a whole tomboy, right? Like, I was never into this, like, oh,
no, sir.
Don't do that, okay? I wear dresses and makeup.
She does.
I'm
not necessarily heels, but everything else.
Not wearing no heels like that. You're gonna catch
me. Listen, I knew Iris in high school. Okay, let the girl finish her thought. Now she done forgot what she was gonna say.
I did it. I wrote it down. I wrote it down. So, me being that being said, like, I was never. And I love to go against the grain anyway. I was never the girl that's like, oh my God, I want to be married in a church. I want a ring. I want a best friend to be there. I don't even know what the words are. See, I'm struggling.
Maid of honor. Maid of honor.
Exactly. All of that. Okay. I was never the girl that's like, da, 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 da. I'll tell you the honest truth though. Once I did get married, and in the beginning, kind of was like, going through those sacrifices, which I thought were compromises. We talked about that last time. But going through those sacrifices, I was kind of like, well, damn, I deserve a real wedding now. Shit. Like, this is what like, so it's so crazy because I never cared about marriage. My motto before was, I don't even want a wedding ring. I'm a watch girl. So I used to always be like, oh, get me a watch with our wedding date engraved in it, but I'm not wearing no wedding ring. Because to me, the symbol of marriage should be the feeling, not just a ring or a title. I never cared about that because, you know, I'm around a lot of guys. So for me, it's like, I've seen a lot of guys have girlfriends. That title's cute, but what I see them doing is not boyfriend material. So I never cared about this big title of marriage and what it looks like. I'm really kind of like open to stuff like that. I like to listen to people's stories. I like to understand different things because I don't think traditional is always the best. Because who the hell created a traditional anything? Where did it stem from? We know who created it. Come on, I know, like we know. But like,
hey, let's get Kyrie and Kanye. Say it. No.
No, we are not doing that to Shou Talks. I'm still trying to make it.
Don't get
Hello.
Don't get me what is it, canceled before I get started.
Right. So yes, let's jump into the topic of, we'll segue into new relationships now. Mickela, I'll let you start first, you know, only because I know about your brand, which we're not gonna get too much into it now because I want to bring you on.
I just followed her on
I
IG.
saw, thank you. It's so new.
Yo, happy looks good on you, sis.
Oh, thank you. And that's the thing. So leaving the ugly and, you know, with you know, and like I said, it's to each his own. And I think everyone believes it, 2 sides, 3 sides to every story, whatever. But my experience is my experience, and it's true. No,
it's
but
the facts. Because women don't lie.
No. But but you know, that having been said, it was difficult to navigate. You have the, you know, that gentleman who passed away, that his name shall not be mentioned, who makes women believe as if after a certain time in life, you know, you are no longer a viable, you know, dating possibility in the pool. I am an example that wasn't it, you know, and like I said, I dated up, I dated down, you know, it wasn't in Atlanta it's a bit difficult. But still did the whole dating. My current boyfriend is someone that I knew from middle school, who circled back around. And I always say to him, I never really even considered you. Because he was there. He, you know, took me out, we went out, and I was just like, no, I'm just trying to live this different life, you know. I was trying the respectful route. You know, okay, I'm not going to be really, you know, loud about my dating. I'm just going to go quietly. I'm just going to live my life 50% of the time when I don't have my son, on the off weeks, you know. And then I said, why? I'm limiting myself to respect a man who didn't have any respect for me. I'm going to find a way to respect my children in this process, but it definitely has nothing to do with him. So something happened between myself and my boyfriend and he said something, it did something that made me stand up and actually look at him and see him. And it's been wonderful ever since, right? So now I'm in my 40s, and I have friends who are like, well, how did you do it? I've been dating, you know, all this time. And like I said before, it's all about being open, you know, not so open that you're taken advantage of. So I heard a TikTok today that a woman was like, listen, ladies, after you get out of these relationships, you know, beware of the men that are looking for a nurse and a purse, right? And I'm like, I get that. I 100% get that. But it was all really about, like I said, opening yourself up to the possibility and being in that space where I wasn't desperate for anything. I was okay with not having a relationship. I was still healing from, you know, things of the past. So I really didn't need to really be in anything. But this happened and it's great. I've seen ways and treatments and things that I haven't seen in a relationship in a long time. And it's not basic things and it's not gestures, it's just actions, quiet actions that, you know, are not for show, but definitely come out of character and how to be with a person that speak volumes. And so this is what I'm trying to share with other people. You know, it's like, hey, listen, you know, you're so quiet with this, you know, having your dude that you're dating on the side and being all quiet and being ashamed of your relationship and being all that. Why? If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But in the meantime, live in your moment. You know, that's pretty much it. I can talk on and on about it. But, you know.
Kev, I'm gonna let you talk about jumping back into the dating pool.
Listen, after, so we separated in June, and like I said, I was back outside in June. I dated, but you know, at this point in life, you're trying to date with substance also, because it's like that. My mindset changed. I didn't give up on the dream of, you know, the marriage, household, and all that other stuff. But you know, I was out there, and then I met somebody before, and when I did my stupid 1 year in law school, I had met somebody there. Woo, cool. Never even thought about nothing like that. And then as I was hosting, we bumped into each other as I was separated, and then we just started talking, kicking it, and all these other thought bots. I was like, bye, see you later. I got something with substance now, and that's where I'm at.
Thank you for your services. You've been dismissed.
Thank you for your service. You are dismissed. I don't have time for your shenanigans. and when you look at it, it's like you said, Boston's so damn small, anyways. When you go out, damn, y'all still here? You ain't got no man yet? Oh my God. This is what I got?
You was here before I got married. You still here?
You was here before I left for the military. I came back, you here. I got married, you here. I got a divorce, you here. Like, and it's like Iris said, you got to be, Boston's so small, so now you got to be selective of like who you dating. Yeah. You got a child that you're thinking about. It just so happened that, you know, my new lady, she's from New York. So, made it work.
B, go ahead if you want to talk about jumping back in. Well, I mean, you spoke earlier about your 30 days, but jumping back in.
My situation was different because I understood that first and foremost that whatever woman that I decided that I was going to engage with, that she would have to be comfortable knowing that I'm not trying to be with one woman right now, but I'm also not trying to be everywhere. You know, I'm not trying to just be out there dating. But before I even got to that point, I said, okay, if I understood that not going into a relationship shouldn't be based on love and emotion, then I need to figure out a plan before I even decide to get back out there. So my first thing was I had to start a business. Like I don't think that any man who hasn't got his shit together, or at least attempting to get his stuff together, especially after coming from a relationship, should start going out there and trying to, you know, bring somebody else and trying to, you know, get that, you know, trying to get shit popping. So I said, let me get a business together. Because when I start meeting whoever, I'm going to have to make sure they understand that we're not just coming together just to have relations. We're coming together to build something. And I'm building stuff. So if you want to help me build, we could do that. But in a relationship context. So I made sure that, you know, the women that I talk about, people might think that, oh, you know, whoop-de-whoop, but every woman has her own book, has a product, has a service, and is a professional, and they're entrepreneurs. So this is not just we just talking, we trying to build here. So I had to make sure before I decided to bring anybody into what I'm doing, I had to make sure there's something that somebody would want to help me build.
Right. Iris.
What's the question?
Back in. Finding that, like, how did you get back into being open to dating?
Well, I'm cute. Psych, I'm joking. Nah, but for real, imagine that's it. But no, but I'll say honestly, I think I mentioned it a little bit before, like coming out of a divorce I don't know, for anybody, I don't know how men feel, but like, I feel like for women, you might feel a little like, damn, like my confidence is a little shot right now. Like, I need to rebuild myself. So no matter how many, and I'm telling you, it be some of those friends that you thought was his friends that found out y'all were divorced, and they're like, hey, what's up, y'all?
Ma'am.
Y'all broke up? Like,
Ma'am.
excuse me, sir?
How are you doing?
Hello. I was, yo,
Do you need to talk about it?
let me shut up because I feel like I feel my phone is
Just
getting
turn your phone off. Just turn your phone off. That's okay. You got a whole, it ain't, yeah. I'll send you a text before this post so you know to just go ahead and just put your phone on do not disturb.
Oh, that I appreciate you. No, but seriously, and I think it's real life stuff. And I'm not saying that like that stuff doesn't boost my confidence. That actually makes me look at people a little shady because it's like, damn, like that's a little funny. That's your boy. But I think like building my confidence back up to make sure that kind of goes with the healing stage, but to make sure I feel like I'm not the villain that I was put out to be. You know what I'm saying? Because those conversations will really make you think like you're a bad person. So I had to really like reflect, affirm, meditate, all that stuff to rebuild myself, rebuild my head, like make sure my head, because I just started my business too. So I just started my business shortly after the divorce. So like trying to like nurture this new baby that I have and nurture myself, like that was crazy. It was a lot. Yeah. So for me, I was nervous because I'm like, well, like I said, Boston's small. Where am I supposed to find somebody? My son's father is already from New York. New York is tainted, okay? Hello, Harlem, stay away from me, okay? That's it. That's all I'm going to say. So for me, I was like, so damn, I can't talk to New York or Boston? Like, so I
got to drive like 6 hours.
Don't come to Atlanta.
No, girl, I already heard you say Atlanta's shaky, so my ex is already there. I'm not.
Okay.
So,
okay.
But it's funny.
Look how you're. Don't even put that energy out there. Look how you're confirming that. Boston is not small. You expand your mind.
I met somebody. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking trash. I'm talking trash. I met somebody.
Okay. But I'm saying, but that's what a lot of us do. We go into the mindset of Boston small and this and that. No, because I'm sure as many times you might say Boston small, how many times in a day you ran into and seen people you ain't never seen in your life?
Well, see, that's the thing. What I did do is
Iris doesn't leave her house. She doesn't run into anybody.
No,
that's right. I'm sorry. You were out this summer. You were outside this summer.
Okay.
You got that.
You can't find them inside, so you got to go outside.
Right. Yes.
I have to bring the screen up because I thought maybe.
I know you wanted me to make sure I understood what was being said. Understood, sis. I got you.
Okay. So no, but I honestly, because I was starting my business, I started going to more like networking events and stuff that I normally don't attend. Like, so now what I was doing was mixing myself in groups that I'm not normally in. So now I'm going to different places that I don't normally go. I'm going to events I don't normally go to. And then I see this man, like, where you from? Oh, you from Boston? You've been here all your life? Oh, we have mutual friends and I never met you? Okay,
at
cool.
all, ever?
No, because anyway, but yeah, so that's welcome to the dating world. Boston's not as small as I thought. The end.
I mean, no, we all know that you guys, and I mean, this, I don't like to exclude people, but Mika, this excludes you from answering. You know how you bowed out? Okay. Well, because I was going to say, for everybody else, because they have amicable relationships with their exes.
Yes.
See, now you see why I exclude you. Go by how long did it take you to get there? Or was it something that you saw happening, when the door, you know what I mean? Like, where did you get to the point where you're just like, okay, I could be cool with you now? Or you just fake it till you make it?
What are we talking about? With our ex?
Breaks up,
yes.
Whoever's the breaker, whoever's the person who got broken up with, it's always going to take them longer.
Not true.
especially if they didn't. If they
Not if you're Iris.
well, no, not if you didn't really care.
So I'm big on mental health, right?
Mm-hmm.
My approach to this divorce was probably the weirdest. I'm a different Iris than I was 5, 10, however many years ago. Like I said, I'm a tomboy. I'm around men. I've been around men all my life. My brother's 4 years older than me. I have a million male best friends, and then I have like 2 female friends. So I'm not trying to say I have a male mentality, but I get it. So my approach to this divorce, my own sister was like, "Who are you?" Because what do you?
Do you understand what's going on in your life right now?
Enlightened, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I've been watching podcasts. Let me shout out the Love Hour. The Love Hour is a podcast I think everybody should check out. It helps you learn about yourself and relationships, all that fun stuff. They break things down. I think it's dope.
I mean, I'll tag them, see if they'll post this, but
Kev
if
on
not,
stage.
if they don't, then I'm gonna untag them.
No, untag them. I love them. But it's Kev on stage and his wife.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, my approach to it was, let's go to therapy. And let's go to therapy wasn't, let's go to therapy so that we could be together. Let's go to therapy because we both are hurting from a relationship that we didn't cause hurt to each other on purpose. So how are we going to move on to the next relationship if we cause each other's hurt and we don't heal each other? I feel like it's hard. People could go to therapy as much as you want, but if I'm the problem, you could go to therapy by yourself and you can have all these questions that are unanswered and everything. But if I don't go to sit down and go to therapy with you so that you can so things that you feel like were never understood to me are understood, you're kind of still left in limbo, I believe. So for me, I really did approach it like, let's go to therapy. In the beginning, it was, let's go to therapy so we could figure things out with each other. Right. But later on, it was, let's go to therapy to heal. Doesn't mean we have to be together, but we need to. You're a good person ultimately, and I'm a good person ultimately. We just weren't good for each other. Fine.
That's dope. I love that.
We didn't go to therapy.
You said you didn't go. You said you didn't go.
Oh shit.
I was impressed. I was really impressed.
She sold us on a dream.
Right.
That was your asset, right? That was your.
I wouldn't sign up though. Sorry.
No, you know what it is. Like, I think people just need to understand in a relationship, there's no rule book to anything. We only know how to model what we see and what we hear. Mm-hmm. We're experiencing all these things new for ourselves. So like me going into a marriage, I can only mimic my mom, mimic my sister, mimic my aunt, mimic TV, all of those things don't have the same environmental. You
know why though? You know why though?
What?
Because nobody told you that you can make your own rules.
Well, that's the thing. I'm learning that there's no black and white to a relationship now after going through a divorce, because even me approaching a divorce with therapy was kind of, people were like, you asked him to go to therapy after? And I'm like, yeah, because I care about him still. At the end of the day, we probably were never compatible, who knows? But because we weren't compatible doesn't mean you are a monster and I'm a monster. We were just put in a situation that we had to learn from, and we didn't learn properly. But sometimes it takes those harsh lessons for you to actually learn something. And I will honest to God say that I learned something from that harsh lesson. And part of that was, there's no black and white to the relationship. It's literally, like you said, it's what we believe it is. So if me and you sit down and say, this is what the relationship's supposed to look like, I'm going to take care of all the bills and you're going to be the maid, that works for us. Cool. That's fine. Who cares if everybody else is trying to say that men are supposed to pay for all the bills in the house and everything's supposed to be 50-50. I don't believe that, because suppose I make more money than you. I'm okay with paying the bills. But what are you going to do? Like, we just have to be partners.
Oh, you're going to cook and clean. Sorry.
I love that, Iris.
No, but I mean, and I'm not saying this like I'm perfect, but I will say I learned a lot of this from the harsh reality of the relationship. My mind was open. I started watching the podcast. I started reading. I started doing my own research. And that's why I say that I was able to start healing at the end of the relationship because I was trying to fix the relationship. But in return, me trying to heal not trying to heal, me trying to fix the relationship made me heal indirectly. So my mindset to the whole thing, and maybe he's not healed yet. So maybe my mindset to say, let's go to therapy together so that we can fix whatever issues we had. So I don't want bad blood with you, nor do I want you to go around and hurt the next girl that you talk to because you're not healed from our relationship. But I can only do so much. I can only put the offer on the table, and if he takes it, he takes it. He doesn't, he doesn't. He didn't take it. So girl,
you truly are one of a kind. I'm telling you, you are. I'm gonna let Kev talk, but I wanted to, when you mentioned you started to heal at the end of your relationship, if you think deeply, that's a grieving process. You already started to grieve your relationship before it ended. And I think that's what helped you kind of get to where you are. Kev.
Like Iris said, what was the question again?
We're talking about stepping back into, dating. Iris took it a whole complete left, right, U-turn, parallel parked.
No, it wasn't that, because I was excluded. It was like
we already had that. It was
about
I don't know, y'all.
Relationship with your
amicable.
Yes,
oh yes, be amicable. Sorry, yes.
Don't do me like that.
I'm sorry, I hurt you. My bad.
Thank you, Mika girl, because she's like
she's paying attention. She's taking notes.
Somebody got to do it.
So so what is the actual question?
How long did it take, or what was your process to finally become amicable with your ex?
Okay, so I think in having a conversation and knowing that just because we didn't work out, we still got a child together. We don't have an adult child neither, where he could make his own mind up and be like, I want to go to daddy, I want to be with mama. We have a 5-year-old, so we got to figure it out.
Right.
When you're the villain of the story, it's easier to move on. I think amicable. I think it's what day of the week we're talking about. You know what I mean?
It's still in progress.
I think at the end of the day, it's still fairly fresh. So you give some people benefits of the doubt and call it a day. I don't argue with nobody no more.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah, it really does it.
Your life's good. My life's good.
What are we even talking about?
Why we got to be arguing? I didn't hear Kaden not once, so this conversation is pointless. I don't know. So I think once you get that mindset, and I think we're both on the same page also, like it didn't work out. What the hell can we do about it now? It's over. But it's easier for me to be amicable, right? Because I moved on already. I'm in a full-on relationship. I'm a dude also. No disrespect to the ladies here. It's easier for a guy to move on. Whether we were the one hurt or the one that did the hurting, it's easier for us to move on, right? And like I said, it just stems back to like, we have a child that we have to raise. And this is the most formidable years. And what's not gonna happen is you see toxic shit. So there's no arguing in front of our child. There's none. We don't even live in the same house. What are we arguing for? Open lines of communication. Like I talk with my child every day, out to at least twice a day, maybe 3 times. It ain't like I could call his phone. We have to call each other's phone, So I think that's what it comes down to. I think if it was for us having a child together, it probably would have been no type of amicable and no type of speaking, because there's no point at that point, right? But
what do you have to talk about?
I think we just are adults about the situation. That's what it comes down to. And it's like Mika, am I saying that right? Mickela. Say it again.
I call Mika baby girl.
It's okay. It's okay.
Because I've noticed his childhood.
Kevin's Haitian. You can say Mikael. Mikael.
Like she said, our love out loud said, every situation is different. She did a 25-year bid. She got full-grown adults. And there was a lot of hurt in that situation, right? My marriage was for 2 years, if that, and it wasn't like it was on the best foundation going in the first place, right? So, and then I moved on, you're wrapping your head around stuff. So adult conversations changes a lot of things, shout out to Iris. I mean, that therapy stuff, we try to do therapy in the middle of the marriage and it didn't work. So, and not for nothing, not to be blasting, I was the one pushing for therapy. So, and it didn't happen. So it goes both ways. But at the end of the day, when it ended, having those real life conversations dictates where we are right now. And at the end of the day, y'all were friends at some point. There was love there at some point. So I don't see why people cannot at least be cordial.
Right.
You, like Iris said, y'all didn't have children together, but y'all could be cordial. Right. But I don't know what hurt was happening there neither. So it's easy for me from the outside looking in, like, why can't y'all be cordial? Nigga, because he did this and she did this. Okay, sorry. Next question.
I'm on my business. My bad. My bad.
That's where therapy comes in, because there's a lot of misunderstanding that causes the hurt too.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of it is misunderstanding and not being heard. Like all those things are where the falling apart starts to happen. And like me and Rachel spoke about this in another podcast, but and I'm going to keep saying it because I preach on it. People make sacrifices in relationships and they think it's compromising, and that's what messes up a lot, because you think you're doing this for a bigger purpose, but you should just be compromising. Nobody should be sacrificing what they want or believe in their relationship for the sake of the happiness of somebody else. You guys should be coming together and saying, I'm gonna be willing to take 30% of this, and you're gonna be willing to take 30%, and we both missed something, but we both got what we wanted still at the same time. That's it.
I say this line all the time. Nobody's freaking perfect. In my last relationship, I'm not fucking perfect. I'm hard to deal with. I ain't easy either.
Believe it. I believe it.
Rachel.
I believe it.
So check it. Like, end of the day, I'm hard to deal with by myself, and I know that. Imagine somebody else trying to deal with my hardness. If it's too much for me to handle, can you imagine somebody else trying to handle that shit on top of it? And then we already rocky as it is. So like, I can't sit here and be like, I didn't play my part in it neither. Right. You know what I mean? Like I said, nobody's perfect, but there's somebody that's perfect for you, right? Like where I'm at right now in life, I'm where the person is perfect for me. Now, she probably want to knock my block off every other day. I don't know how to put toilet seats down. I'm never gonna know how to put it down. I don't know.
You just do like this.
Huh? My hands don't work like that. I just go for the flush, and I gotta wash my hands. You pick which one you want. The flush or washing my hands? Which one?
Two different things.
Iris, we talked about this. They are simple creatures. Don't give them too many things.
I apologize. Continue.
Too much shit.
Be able to let you hop on this conversation. How long did I on this topic?
I wanted to touch back on a thing, couple comments back, because it is a opinion that men get over relationships and heartache faster. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think we handle it better because we're forced to. Again, society, nigga, you better get over that shit. What fuck you slacking for? You know what I'm saying? So
what you crying about?
We're forced, but in the long run, it's more detrimental because you don't get to really, again, do that shadow work and see where your flaws are, picking the wrong people for you. So then you don't have no time to get into your shadow. You got to go ahead and toughen up and go into some other fucked up relationship. So I don't know if we get in there. I don't know if we're getting over it, but unfortunately we're forced to. So again, back to we don't have luxuries of certain things. I was with my ex for 12 years total, but we was married for 2 years. In the course of the 2 years, probably the first couple of months, so like we split in April. By July, we was camping. However,
he was what? Camping?
Camping, chilling, hanging.
Oh, okay.
However,
Y'all all gonna sit there and act like y'all knew what he was talking about.
Thank you for speaking for us. What does that mean? What does it mean?
I don't know. I'm asking.
What does it mean?
Really, no, like really camping, going on the camp. We was camping.
Oh,
we was
camping.
Oh,
Camping.
camping. Oh shit,
What
brother!
you
I heard camping. I was like, is that some new type of hunching?
I was about to start saying it.
Iris wrote it down.
Tomorrow
Iris
I was
wrote
gonna
down
talk about
camping.
I'll be on my new slang, but that ain't it.
I was trying to pick it up in context. I don't know.
Mind you, because like, what is
you know
what is it?
That's what it is. Look, we gonna make a new shit. That's a
We
new
are.
shit.
We're
That's
making up words on Shoutalks. Shoutalk exclusive dictionary. Go ahead. You guys were camping by July.
So we split. So in a few months we was chilling, but by the end of that year, I don't know. We put it like this. It took let's say about 9 months. As long as it takes to make a child, it took about 9 months for us to get back cooling again.
9 months. Okay. All right. And I mean, Mika, we answered the question. I got you. I got you.
Man, she did a 25-year bid. Leave that girl alone.
Appreciate that.
And I feel like I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What would be one regret and one takeaway that you get from your previous marriage?
I'll start. I don't deal with regrets. Everything is for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel as though since my mindset shifted back in when I was 25, 26 in the Army, and I know what I wanted in life, I've been chasing after one thing. It just so happened that person didn't work out. It didn't work out with that person. But along the way, I changed. Mm-hmm. I learned. I grew. So where's the regret coming from?
Right.
And now, you know, this situation, once I say to my dudes, like, you stuck. I'm not doing this shit no more. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Listen, I ain't catching no more L's now. I learned enough. No more L's.
I don't want to learn anymore. Iris, because Mika looks like she's still writing. Iris, you go.
I kind of agree with the whole regret thing. I try to say I don't live with regrets because, child, I'll be crossing a lot of things out if I did. But but a big takeaway I think I got from my recent relationship would be to going into my next relationship, I would want to make sure the mental and spiritual foundation is there. So that needs to be like on the forefront. I need to see what's up with your mental health. I need to see what's up with your spirituality. And if something is lacking or you are stronger in one of those than I am, we need to come together and make that the beginning of our relationship, and we could build off of that, because a lot of people don't know. You don't know somebody unless you know what they're going through, like their mental health. A lot of people look good, but they broken. So yeah.
Mika?
That's how you leaving it?
She dropped the mic. I seen it. I felt the mic drop.
I do have regrets, but I don't think that they're worth mentioning. It's one of those things that I kind of sit with, and you know, every now and then I open that box and I'm like, close that box and leave it alone. To say that I don't have any regrets, would be, you know, for me, just a big untruth.
Right.
I think that there's a bigger picture, and all has already been written, and I'm just walking this path. The lessons are hard. I've had so many gut punches in the past 3 years that I cannot complain, because prior to this, I thought everything was perfect.
Right.
You know, anyone that knows me and has looked at my life, you know, from then all the way up, it's like, this bitch again. Look at her and her kids and her, you know,
smiling and stuff.
Right? Smiling,
being happy and shit.
So this, you know, this is I always say that this is God checking me. Right. And I've accepted it begrudgingly. But the regrets, like I said, it's not worth the mention. I'm just taking these hard licks and, you know, keeping it moving.
Learning.
That
Me?
was so West
Oh.
Indian, by the way, but go ahead. Hard licks, and I was like, damn.
Taking them hard licks. B.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I have regrets, but my regrets are kind of different. See, when I come into anyone's life, including a woman, especially a woman, I always want to leave somebody's life better than what I started with. So that's something I feel that, but I didn't even realize that until the other side. So the regret is I came into someone's life and didn't put it in a better position. I thought. However, coming on the other side, the thing that I've learned about that is that had to happen the exact way that it happened because it made me a person that I don't even know if I would have became this person, but I needed that experience for me to become this person. Because when you are really feeling someone and y'all are vibing, as a man, that woman's a reflection of you. So if you let that person down, you really letting yourself down. That's the reason why men really here's some game for you women. You want a man to fall in love with you, you become the reflection of that man. because he's not going to be able to and women love this too, so that's another game for men as well. But you want always recognition and acknowledgement of yourself. That's why some of the strongest relationships and best relationships with the male and the female is when that woman's a reflection of her man, because that man was
if he's a good man.
If he's a good man. Well, here's the thing. You don't have to be a good man. See, a woman just want a leader. She doesn't, a lot of the endings doesn't matter if it's good or bad. So it doesn't matter if she's a good woman, I mean, a good man. If he's a leader and he's talking that talk and he knows the direction, even though you don't know the direction, and guess where you're going? Where the fuck he's going. So with that being said, I needed this, but she needed this because she often tells me, yo, I wouldn't have grown and if we didn't have this relationship. If we didn't have what we had, and I'm like, yo, I can't be mad at that at all.
I said I'll take a good man and a leader.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, because even if I take your
all leaders are not good men.
Right, but listen,
most bad men exhibit leadership behavior.
Narcissist? It's like a joking.
Well, we all are narcissists in a way, but that's another story for another time as well.
No, but what I was gonna say was, with a woman becoming that man and reflecting that man, if he's a good man, then yes, you then become a good woman because you're a reflection of him. But if he's a bad man, you get to show him all of the negative qualities, and then you can then see, or he can then see that the relationship doesn't work out. So it's a double win either way.
But you have to be that person to be able to see that, because we have a lot of these relationships where that man's a bad man, the woman's reflecting the man, but because the man don't see that, and because the woman doesn't see that, because women are going to see it before the man does. That's the funny thing. A woman's going to see everything that needs to be seen in that relationship, including that man, before the man does, and she's going to try her best to try to relay that message. Here's the problem, man. Women will tell you whatever the fuck you want to know. Most men can't handle it, so they give it to you in little bits and pieces and see what you could take. You can take that, they give you some more. Once you start fucking up and wilding out and going all crazy with the information, guess what happens? Information stops.
Okay, so I wanna ask, and for those who are exclusive again, is your partner also divorced? And if not, was there any hesitancy with having to expose your entire divorce with them?
Oh, can I start? Because mine sounds easy.
Go, girl.
So I don't really have a partner yet. We're kind of in the beginning. So yeah. But I will say that this person, it's funny because when we started talking, he's like, are you sure you're ready to date? And then I was like, what? I was like, what that mean? I was nervous. I was like, am I? Like, what
should I be reading something?
I was like, damn, like did you read me? Like, what's going on? But no, he's never married or anything. But we actually haven't really even talked about the divorce.
But does he know? I'm out here. I don't even know if he listens to. Who cares?
I told him
you
I
care.
was child. I ain't scared. But no, so he knows I was married. He knows how long. He didn't ask for details of the divorce at all.
And he's
So
not. He's not.
I was gonna say.
Well,
We're
it's
not
just
gonna ask for no details.
it's funny because I feel like in some situations people want to know, like, oh, well, what happened or whatever, and blah, 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 blah. But it's like I met him, we talk about things, but he don't, like, unless I kind of say something or mention something, he's not gonna ask more questions about it. So that's kind of weird because I'm like, well, how you know I'm not a serial killer?
Let me
He's
tell you
respecting your
something.
comfort.
Let me just say something.
Nah.
Brother just gave you some game, but you missed it. See, a dude who don't care, he don't give a fuck about that. So
I
that's what you
don't.
gotta pay attention to. If the dude is feeling you and he's trying to vibe with you, you better make sure he's asking you about your divorce, because as a man who, if I'm interested in you, I want to know what type of woman I'm dealing with. See, most men, and let me say a sidebar. Not all men, even if they are interested in you, will ask that question. Why? Because they're scared that you're going to look at them a type of way that they're getting too personal. See, a lot of men, they're shooting themselves in the foot because of this fear. They're scared to have these conversations with women because they're scared that, oh, I'm getting too personal, I'm getting too this and that and the third. However, a woman will grill you to death and ask you for your fucking blood type, your social security number, your credit score, your fucking how many babies mama you got, what's the man.
You still talking to them and y'all still friends?
You know what I'm saying? And that's good though, because it shows that there is at least some real interest, not just some surface shit. Unless they just nosy, but that's that too.
So for me, jumping off of what that said or whatever, coming out of a divorce, it's a touchy subject for most people, right? So if she just said, hey, I've been married before and I divorced, and then she leaves it at that, right then and there, I'm like, all right, she's still healing. I'm not gonna open up that joint to trigger her. When she's ready to give me that part of her soul, then I'll listen. Until then, I'm gonna let her rock out. That don't mean I don't want to know. That don't mean I'm not interested. It's just
you don't want to push it.
I'm not ready to play therapist yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need that negative. I don't need that negative joint coming in while I'm still trying to build my relationship with you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel that.
That's a lot to put on, because what if I go and ask a question and she bears it all and I don't say the right shit right after? Like, oh shit.
That part.
Let me ask you a question.
This nigga ain't shit.
You raise a good point, because I feel you on that with that energy. But let me ask you this. Let's say you did, she never really got around to getting at it, and you are kind of feeling her, and she did hit you with something heavy, and it was too heavy for you. Would you have felt the type of way that you wasted your time, or would you have wanted to get that out the way to keep it pushing if it wasn't for you?
I think for me, if I really wanted to know, I'd go a roundabout way of asking it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I know you've been divorced already, but what's your thoughts on marriage? I just open up that door without even having to ask that question, because then she's gonna be like, it's so fresh, blah blah blah, and she's just running down the whole divorce, and I get to know where you're at mentally. Also, I just need to know that I need to respond properly. I can't sit there like a goofball talking about like, oh, okay, that sounds cool.
Man, pay attention. That's game. He just hit y'all with the fucking jewel just now. I hope y'all caught that. That shit was dope.
Iris.
Okay, so two things, right? I do believe in different people bring out a different version of you, right?
Exactly.
So who I was in my marriage and who I created in myself after my marriage could be completely different from who this man is meeting today. So for him to ask me questions about my marriage, maybe you don't know nothing about my ex, so I could tell you what happened and everything, but you don't know if he brought a certain side out of me that you could never bring out of me either. So it's like, that's one. And two, I feel like women, we're also told, don't tell a man too much about your relationship because they could use it against you, right? Like, they don't tell a man too much about your past relationship because it can be used against you, however, which way, whatever. I guess that's only for damaged people, whatever, but fine. So I feel like it was interesting to me because it's like, I'm really kind of going into this with a clean slate. Like, you're not pressing me. You're not trying to figure out you're trying to figure out who I am to you right now. Who are you showing me you are? And cool, like if you show me some signs where you're a little crazy, I might have to question it. But if you're not showing me anything that's crazy, he'll ask a little question here and there, but it's nothing like, so why did you guys get divorced? So why did you? So this, but he'll ask little questions like, oh, so you still cool with his family? Okay. Like, oh, so y'all still close? Oh, okay. You know, he'll ask little questions here and there.
It's the roundabout questions, because then it opens up the door for you to divulge what you want to divulge. Yeah. What you choose to do is what you choose to do. Me personally, I don't give a fuck about your ex, because you ain't gonna remember him after I'm done with you. Like, fuck out of here.
B, hold on.
But watch this. But
I was gonna say, hold on. I want to give Mika a chance to answer.
Yes, I have.
You need to renew the question. I was gonna say,
please. See, I tried.
She was about to give me the political answer. She goes,
she gave you the real political choice. She's like, yes, I believe.
We're asking about your new relationship now. Have they been divorced as well, and how much did you divulge about your divorce to your new boyfriend, your new relationship?
Listen, I come from a life of quietness and secrecy. Don't tell anybody your business. Don't tell anybody about your marriage. Don't tell anybody about what's going on in your household. And
that's
so,
a tradition.
Right. So when it was time to say that I was getting divorced, there were so many questions. Like, we never knew you had problems. You never know you had issues. Are you sure? Do you want to? By the time I say that I'm getting a divorce and I've asked for a divorce,
I've already divorced in my head.
Through the process. Exactly. So that being said, I've chosen to be a different person this time around. I'm entirely an open book. The two of us talk about things that sometimes I'm like this. Why are you telling me this? And vice versa. So the details of my divorce, he knows them. There's nothing that somebody can tell him from the outside about me, about my divorce, about my relationship that he doesn't already know. And that's how I choose, to go about this particular relationship.
But you know what that shows you. See, that's how you know, and that's going back to what I was saying. And that's how you know somebody is who their authentic self is, because when you don't, it's not that you don't care and they don't know bravado shit, but when you're you, I don't give a fuck how you feel about me. So we have a habit of telling and keeping secrets and telling the wrong people the shit that we're supposed to be telling the people we're keeping shit away from. That's how these relationships end up to, oh, I didn't know who you was. You don't ask the right questions. If a woman, I don't care if I'm pressing or I don't care if I'm roundabout. If I'm asking a woman who I'm interested in direct questions, roundabout questions, and she's on some shaky shit, that's not for me.
Yeah. So I could answer this one. I think for me, I felt as though I came in this new relationship with a double whammy. I have a young child and divorce. Listen, baby, I don't have time to be playing games. This is what it is. You either with this or you're not. You know what I mean? And not to mention, I got to give you all the tough stuff up front, because when you,
absolutely,
I say I don't put toilet seats down, so I don't know what to say. So if I hit you with the big shit, maybe you'll overlook that one.
Kev was on his first date like this. He was like, I do. I don't do that. I don't. Let go of that.
To be completely honest, I've always been a component of the truth.
Right.
I'm gonna give you everything up front. Now,
I second that.
I'm not gonna give you all the details, but I'm gonna give you everything up front. Now, what you choose to do with it, you either riding this train or you're not. If you're not riding, somebody else gonna get on. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. I'm pretty dope.
But that honesty, it translates into so many different facets of the relationship. If you guys get my drift.
It's even doper.
Yeah.
Right?
So many different facets. There's no secrets. There's no, oh my God.
I'm sorry, panel, I'm going to have to get off this. I didn't realize what time it is, and I got some reading to do before I head to bed. Y'all are some dope people, for real. I appreciate all y'all stories and just being able to connect with y'all.
We appreciate you too. We're going to wrap up soon. But I do want to thank y'all. It sounds like we might have to do a part 3, 4, maybe 5 about this. I will drop your handles. I know B already has it. He goes, if you find them, you'll find them.
Yeah,
but
I ain't dropping shit. If you find me, you find me. I'm out here to be found because everybody know where they can find me when they want to find me. But with that being said, it was a great time with y'all. And
You find me if you want to find me, but I can't be found if you do find me. What? I mean, fuck me all up.
He just mind fucked you right there.
Yo, he hit me with the Kyrie West.
But I'm gonna let everybody else. Go ahead and drop their handles before we sign off.
Okay, so you could follow me at on IG at Fame84. So that's FAYM as in Michael, E84. And my podcast name is The Industrial, and that's TheIndust, capital REAL on IG.
I'm more simple. It's all platforms, Kevin B the brand. That's where you find me. Still a heartbeat to all events and everywhere I go.
You know, I got to edit all those pen tappings that you've done, right? And you know this because you've had a podcast.
It's Kevin B the brand on all platforms that you want to use. And I'm still the heartbeat of all events and everywhere I go.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Boom. We got.
All right. So it's Our Love Out Loud on Facebook and IG, and also Mickey, Mikki, Be Good on Instagram.
And I failed her. I just want y'all to know I failed her tremendously. I was supposed to get her a blurb of my relationship in October. And you see the face she gave me?
Yeah,
you know, the
our love story project.
I completely, I'm gonna just blame it on Renard and because he's not in the room right now, so I could talk all the trash I want. I'm just gonna blame it on him and trying to coordinate with him and get together. It wasn't happening. Send a text if you want to, Kev. You know your boy. It wasn't me. It was him.
I've been snitching all night. All night.
Oh no.
All right. Well, thank you guys again. I appreciate it. I hope everybody listening, whether you're in a new relationship, married, recently divorced, thinking about divorce, had something to take away from this. Definitely send us some comments. You know what I'm gonna start doing? I'm gonna start having people send questions, have viewer questions. Maybe I will bring y'all back for a part 8. Because this is about 2 hours now. All right, y'all.
Anybody who's listening, choose happy. Choose you. Choose happy. Everybody else, I was gonna say some vulgar shit, but
at this point,
everybody else don't matter. Choose happy. Choose happy. Choose you. That's too much Douce. That's 3 cups of Douce in right now.
My child heard that.
What?
Wait, why is he not in bed?
He grown. Yeah. Jermaine fully grown.
He's not grown enough for that.
Hey, Jermaine grown. Listen, he a fly fellow now. Stop playing.
I mean, I met his uncle.
What the fuck does that mean? What the hell? I'm snitching.
Knock this call up,
Why'd
guys.
you do that face? Why'd you do that face? I'm snitching.